Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. I'm your host, VGMKoren, and just like the last episode, we're starting off with no HP. On the bright side, however, there's a conveniently placed water fountain right here, and we can just drink all the broken bones away, and finally cross the drawbridge we've been looking at since the last episode. Now, I don't know if you've been paying attention, but we are making good progress through this game. The last save point indicated that we're about 44% of the way through the game. And that means we get to a giant room. But what it actually means is that we are slowly approaching the halfway point and should be coming across the more complicated and challenging puzzles throughout the game. A terrifying prospect when someone like me is playing, I'm aware. Okay, bye, Farah. Thanks for being useless. I feel like this should be doing something. Alright. As you can see, there are saw blades over here. For some reason, there's this. And I'm going to jump. I'm going to jump somewhere. I haven't decided where yet. That's where I'm going to jump. Speaking of more complicated puzzles, I do think this counts because this is not the most obvious place that you'd be starting a puzzle. And there's a saw blade, and it's probably going to kill me. So the bridge turns. Okay. Oops.
I think I see how this works. Try pulling yours now.
Alright, so obviously this turns the bridge, which... Oh, it's so that Farah can join us. Oh, I was just talking about complicated puzzles, and apparently that's good enough for her. We are already at puzzles that don't really involve us doing anything and are just so that Farah can escape into wherever she's going. Oh, we pulled the lever, or she pulled the lever, and now my bridge is gone. And now I'm on the bridge with a gasping girl. Where now? Well, I don't think this is where I should be. This is where I should be. Oh. Apparently my sleeve was torn, and now I don't need that one either. The prince is going sleeveless. That is totally a style that will never go out of style. As the prince gradually loses clothes, we still have been gradually gaining more powers, so with any luck, as I lose more clothes, I will become more powerful. I really hope the game doesn't work like that. That would be unfortunate. These long cutscenes where Farah is helpful are kind of strange, because she's not actually that helpful. Oh, ladder flipping. You're such a cool mechanic, and I don't know why. I don't know when the prince's sleeve would have gone torn. And... oh, we're going to have to watch her climb the whole thing. Go! Go! You can do it! Just climb that ladder. Now, interestingly, I'm not 100% sure where we're going next, but why don't we just go down and see where she was earlier. This doesn't seem to be leading anywhere, but in a way, it possibly could. So let's just follow along for a minute and see where we end up. We ended up here, which is not useful. Actually, there may be something down there, but I don't feel like looking at the moment. Unless, of course, this ends up being a case where we are told we have to go back down a second later. Oh, wait.
If you can fit under this gate, I'll really be impressed.
Let's just watch her fit under that.
I knew that hole was there. I just wanted to see if you knew.
Of course you did, Prince. And here we are on the other side.
Keep running!
Why is she running ahead of us? Why aren't we just killing these things? There's a switch. It opens this door. Ooh, that means we're going to be coming back, most likely. Oh, of course, she can keep running, but we get attacked. And birds. Phase birds, as we last learned, because they don't care if they're clipping through an object. So while we're fighting, I noticed that there are lots of pillars around this area, which might mean that we're going to be climbing pillars again soon. Alright. There's just not a lot to say about birds. You wait for them to come attack you, you block their attack, or you get hit by them and get knocked down and have to spend even more time fighting them. And then you get to see your first close-up of not wearing any sleeves. And then a very low-angled shot of a save point. Well, it's a good thing that didn't happen a couple of seconds earlier. So, it would seem to me that we will not be going back to the next, to that area. We will be jumping on pillars, however, if this save point is anything to judge by. Oh, a tight walk, or a tightrope walk. That's a new mechanic we haven't seen before.
I'll start the story from here next time.
But as always, a fetal position marks the prince's reawakening. And the princess already trapped her.
Broken.
Very funny. Come on, open the gate.
No, I mean it. It's really broken.
Prince, you know you could probably fit through there. You aren't that big.
Alright. You go on down. I'll find another way in.
Try not to take too long.
It's okay, we have water. And is there anything over here? It's a sand for our sand tanks. We need, I believe, what will end up being one more to get another sand, and then we will have to build a sand tank for any future combat. In order to do the Mega Freeze, I believe it's called. This doesn't look safe. Of the many things this looks like... Oh! It is much safer than I anticipated. I believe we cannot drop one more. And so back up we go, and this time we're going to jump... Oh, this time it highlighted the pillar for us. That was nice. Wrong directional. Once again, the keyboard is not the best control for this, because on a GameCube pad, this jump would be very obvious in the way that you're going to go. But on a keyboard, it's a bit harder to figure that out. And by a bit harder, I mean that I'm going to continue to throw myself off of them, and into death, and wasting sands. Oh, that's interesting. I thought I would be able to catch onto the wall there. But I was wrong. Well then, in that case we will jump and then die. What I want to do here is wall jump. Maybe. Now this is the reverse of wall jumping as we usually would do it. This is us wall jumping to go down slowly, which is a nice little inversion of the mechanic. Oh dear, that's gonna fall. So this is our first encounter with floors that fall apart. Like I said, the game seems to be gearing up to have more complicated puzzles from here on out.
Here.
Thanks.
Down below, there's a great open balcony. Come on, I'll show you.
Easy for you to say.
The unfortunate thing is, I let go of R. This time I didn't throw myself into the void, or use up all my sands doing stupid things. I know, it's unusual, and you didn't even get to see it, and I almost did it there.
I'll come down to you.
Not to mention, I was one jump away from not only refilling my sand tanks, but getting a new one in as well. So we're going to climb this pillar, I believe, and then make a hopeful leap of faith to the other side.
I know where I am. This gate leads to the baths. Do you think you could find your way there?
Of course. Finding my way to the baths from here should be easy.
Good. I'll meet you there.
Okay, weren't we already in the baths earlier? I believe we were. Or...
I'll just ask the first sand creature I run into. Could you direct me to the baths, please? Well, thank you. Don't mention it. I used to be a bath attendant back when I was alive.
Thank you, Prince, for that note.
I'll meet you at the baths. She orders me around as if I were a servant. It's my own fault. With women, you need to show them you're in charge right from the start, or they'll walk all over you.
That's the attitude.
Indulgent. Probably because I felt sorry for her. Well, it stops now. From now on, she'll have to toe the line. That is, assuming I can find her.
Well, Prince, that was a very impressive speech. And altogether true. Don't kill me. You just gotta put her in her place, because she totally won't steal your dagger. So once again, we see just beetles, or scarabs. Beetle scarabs. A lot of wall running, a lot of jumping, and a Farah.
Done. I'll start the story from
So
here next time.
that is where we're going to go next. Hopefully. If not, I mean, the game has lied to us before. It showed us jumping off a cliff, and that certainly wasn't what we were supposed to do in that situation. So, I've noticed that this is an interesting area. Mostly because it is all about the new tight walks that we can do. I think we can just drop down. Oh, apparently, dropping 5 feet now kills us. Or me. Or the prince. It probably wouldn't kill me, or you. And it's nice that those birds aren't attacking us, because I kind of thought they were going to. I kind of figured this would be one of those levels where you're just constantly under attack by the enemy. And you have to platform despite that. Not entirely sure where to go. So, let's go over here. We might be able to make that jump. We did. Or I did. Oh! Speaking of fighting on a tightrope. It seems like I was right the first time. We have to fight while platforming. Something I appear to be very bad at. Oh! I didn't die this time! Wonderful. Well, since we're down here, let's go get the sand that eluded us earlier. When a 5-foot drop killed us. It was a great part. Over here is the door that we have to eventually leave through, but my guess is more along the lines of us having to climb this area while we're under attack, using these small little platforms, and then, hopefully, winning. But how do I get back up? Let's see. And we're back up here. It turns out there was a very easy place where we could just jump across and be just fine. I'm not entirely sure what influences you falling in this area or not. I am using a keyboard though, so I suppose that makes it a little more difficult for the game to tell what I'm trying to do. Anyway, we're gonna fight some more guys. The important thing here is to not fall and waste even more time. So we're just going to try even to not get hit in the first place. I don't think we can rewind that far, however. Oh, we did. This is a type of puzzle that I am not entirely a fan of. Because you end up... The Prince's Sword is not the most precise of weapons. In fact, generally speaking, it is an imprecise tool at best, and you fall a lot while you're using it. But the birds seem to have left for now, so we're going to continue on our merry way. And we're going to get combat music going while we do. Because, of course, there's still some more birds. Like that one. I hate that guy. Hey, you, bird, you're ugly. Get out. You take your music, and you leave. Well, speaking of music, I suppose this is the first time I've really had a chance to listen to it, since when you're platforming, there's not a whole lot that you end up listening to, music-wise. Jumping from the top of a ladder is still going to kill me. The choice to not use a lot of music while you're platforming is an interesting one. It does help the sense of loneliness. Of course, that sense is destroyed by Farah yelling, "Here I am!" every couple of seconds. And now we've let out a bunch of scarabs, and by closing a bunch of gates have changed the way that we're going to get back through this puzzle, which will hopefully take us to the switch that we need to get to. But here's another switch, so we're just going to go ahead and pull that. Oh! Isn't that interesting? We have a limited amount of time to get in here. Why do we have a limited time to get in here? Well, that's... Oh, I bet that platform is something we have to run along. So let's reopen that and find the scarabs that are triggering the music and fight them. Which is not entirely what I was intending to do. Interesting note. You might have noticed a couple of scarabs, and I believe I noticed this as well, take 3 hits in order to die. And usually with my new sword, they only take 2 hits. It appears that despite getting a new sword, the Prince's feet have not been imbued with new sharp edges. And what I mean by that... What do I mean by that? That is a silly thing to say, sorry. I'm getting distracted. Alright, so this is usually where we would get back up. Oh, but we have the ladder. That's right. The Prince's feet only deal 1 damage too, while our sword does 2 damage. So, the Prince's feet are not a reliable weapon in this scenario. Though they do have a bigger area of effect because, well, it's your foot. For those of you thinking, he's never going to make it in time, have some faith. I can totally do this. I totally will not get hit by that bird. Instead, I will simply miss my jump altogether. Actually, that bird does put an interesting damper on this, because we have to essentially kill that bird when he comes in to dive us. Otherwise, we simply will not make it. back in time. Prince, put your sword away. You move even slower on ledges when your sword is out. Which, of course, is the logical thing to do. Can we cut this jump? We cannot. Now, we're almost out of sands, and I don't really want to have to do this entire section again, so we're going to try to make the best of the one we still have left. Alright, well, we made the best of it. This is a little bit of a tricky jump here, but I believe that's because I'm supposed to jump on the gate instead. And I'm glad I wasn't wrong, because otherwise, that was going to be it. I was going to have to redo this entire section. Alright, I believe we may not have made it in time, especially if we do something that stupid. Well, there you have it. Hey look everyone, we're gonna make it this time. It totally didn't take us forever to get back here. And even better, we have our sands back in case we do something even more stupid. However, it doesn't look like that's going to happen, because we have unlocked the door forward. I think this is going to kill us. Well, all things that have their time, like death. I possibly could jump to that ladder. I'm not entirely sure if I could jump to that ladder. Let's find out. No, I couldn't. It looks like you could, but it's a lie. Now, the question is, how did I get in here again? Oh, through the door. I found it. Finding the door is probably the most useful thing in the world. Unfortunately, the wall has lowered at this point too much for us to run back across, so we're going to have to take a slight detour over here to where the ladder was in the first place. If, of course, we can get the prince not to fall. And yes, I am saying we again. You can shoot me. It's okay. I'll do it too. We can shoot myself together. That doesn't sound good at all. Anyways, so instead of just opening the door, for some reason this gives you the switch to what will inevitably open the door. Oh, I guess it gets to taunt us with the sound of a save point nearby, but one we can't actually get to. That's fair. Oh, it's a timed door. That just seems unnecessary. In any case, we've made it. And there the door goes behind us. We appear to be in catacombs again, so this is probably the old palace, if we were told, I believe.
Oh, have you been waiting here all this time? I didn't realize you meant these baths. I went to the other baths, clear across the other side of the city. I had a lovely wash and a rub with fragrant oils. Too bad you weren't there. Stop talking to yourself!
The prince has gone mad, but I can't take his advice. I do need to talk to myself, just like he needs to talk to himself. And just like we need to land on this rock. Now, with this much water around, there's no way we could possibly die in this area. Right? Oh, there's sand on that rock. Things I should pay attention to. Where are all these scarabs coming from? In any case, we're going to grab the sand. Also, this is new combat music, which is interesting since until now, the game's been playing the same combat track over and over again. But now it's over. No more pretty new song for you. So the prince can just get a drink of water in this area whenever he likes. He can also find a black hole that leads to nothing. I feel like we're about due for another one of the hidden explosion waters. Areas filled with explosion waters. Oh hey! It's a gigantic waterfall. And a long, long way down. Long, long, long way down. Oh well. we see a save point ahead, and maybe one day we'll get to it. We get to it a lot faster if we jumped, but we need to get there with our bones intact, because that's not the end of the game. And unlike some games, not that I would know of any games like this, but we don't win by flinging ourselves into multiple parts and dying. Actually, I think there was a game like that once. I think it also was terrible or something to that degree, but it is a good concept, I guess? I don't know. Bats! Oh no! Oh no! They are sand bats! Oh god, they do hurt. No, bats! I am your master! With this sword, I will drive you bats away. It looks like we can wall run over to that platform. I know, it didn't take me forever to figure out where the next oh no, bats! Where the next platform was. Maybe I'm finally starting... Oh no. I take it back. I take it back, and I take it all back. It just looked like such a convenient drop. And it wasn't. Of course they wouldn't miss the opportunity to have us jump through a waterfall. Who am I kidding? There is a platform over there. No, we can't reach it. We're not going to do anything stupid to try and reach it. When this LP began, this episode began, I promised myself I'm not going to be quite as dumb as I usually am. That, though, was a lie. And now we found another explosion of light. And we haven't seen Farah yet, so I'm sure this will have more to do with her. Maybe. Or it'll have to do with the cave we're about to explore. Either way, I'm happy to be rid of the person that... Oh no, she wants our dagger. Well, next time we'll have to figure out if she gets our dagger. For now, though, we're going to have to stop because the prince has ended in a fetal position. So, until he gets back up, and pretend he isn't standing right now, I'll see you in the next one.